Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another kick-ass episode of Still Toking with. Yeah, you already know who I am. I would hope by now.
Rubber room.
Jesus, there's that fucking voice in my head again. Well, I do want to say, you people have been chosen to reveal our existence to the world. Okay? I want to say that. But I also want to say, Aaron Go Bragg, what the fuck is that? It's Irish for you're fucked. So if you know what I'm talking about, I'll catch you on the flip side. And with that, the flashy man himself, Mr. Jeffrey Mark.
Well, hello, cats and kittens. Well, I'm excited because our wonderful guest for this hour has already showed me his muscular, hairy chest. So I'm good to go.
He just got up and walked off screen.
Oh, my milkshakes do not bring the boys to the yard. So, having gotten my laugh, let me introduce my wonderful friend, Jeff Homer.
Hey, it's Wednesday. Next week, it won't be Wednesday. Next week, it's going to be Tuesday.
Tuesday
and Friday.
And Friday. Tuesday
and not at 7 o'clock. What the fuck are you doing to me?
Well, because you did that. Nope. Stop. I gotta go. Nope. Back to me because you brought it up. So, like Jeff said, next week, Tuesday at 8:30, we're going live. Friday at 8 p.m., we're going live. The reason for it is we're kicking off a 4-show series to help promote the 50th anniversary of Little House on the Prairie.
Wow.
So we will have multiple guests from the show coming on over the next 3 weeks, 4 shows. Just pay attention. I mean, it's that simple. Just pay attention. Go ahead.
Where was I before I was?
I
so
fucking
rudely
don't know.
Interrupted.
I don't know. You were in my head. I
You
had to
know?
get in yours.
But yeah, no, I want to talk to this guy because, I mean, I don't know how I missed this movie years and years ago. I really don't. But I watched it this weekend. It was killer, man. Kick ass. Good job. I apologize for just seeing it.
Well, now you got to watch the second one.
Now I got to see the second one. But let's bring this dude right in, Mr. Troy Duffy.
Gentlemen,
Nice.
today.
Yes.
I knew you had a big
Yes.
gun.
Yeah, I got all the guns. My gun guy Charlie Taylor made all the rubber replicas for us so that we didn't shoot the DP and kill him.
Right.
We were rehearsing.
Boo.
So he gave them all to me. Got them hanging all around the house. Everybody that comes in here, they're like, "What?"
Right. Nice. Well, that's a way to start the show, folks. In case you didn't catch the one-liners that I threw at the beginning.
Nice one.
You've been living under a fucking rock. But
Well,
yeah,
evidently Jeff has. You just saw it last week. How the hell did you? You're a Massachusetts guy.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed that movie. I really don't. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. Oh,
well, in his defense, in Jeff's defense, he is a super Tubi
I'm a horror
B
freak.
buff.
Oh yeah.
So when we were chatting after the show last week, I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm so excited to chat with this guest next week." And he's like, "Who is he?" And I'm like, "Troy Duffy." And he's like, "Okay." I'm like, "Dude, he wrote and fucking directed the Boondock Saints. I mean, we live south of Boston. Like, we're from the area."
Yeah, you
How
know
could
what? This reminds me of the story. Like, nobody really knows what I look like. So sometimes my ex-wife now, but while we were married, we'd say be in line at TSA, this close to missing our flight, and she'd be like, "Just tell them who you are," right? And I'd go, "Have you ever seen Boondock Saints?" "No." "All right, fuck it." Never really got,
Thank God, because you would have gotten frisked.
I do want to say that one of my favorite things about that movie was the fact that it did not have that cheesy, fucked up Boston accent in it.
Yeah. You know what? There was see if we can get together on this. When they try a Boston accent, unless they can really nail it, don't do it.
No,
Because
don't.
All Bostonians can see that. The New York accent, that's a little bit easier. People can kind of do the sort of Goomba New York thing if they want to, but the Boston accent's so specific. Like I don't know. You guys see what was it? Something River, Mystic River. See Mystic
Yes.
River, Sean Penn? Larry Fishburne, tried one for the first half of the movie and then just stopped.
Yeah, he just let it go.
Because everybody was probably going, "Dude, no. First of all, no. Second of all, no."
No.
All Bostonians get pissed off when you do that, so you better be able to hit it right. But
Well, I've seen the Boondock Saints 1 and 2 a million times. It's one of my all-time favorites. I mean, I just love the storyline. I love the show. I love that it was filmed in Boston. But to bring up the no to the accent, The Departed.
yeah, oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
There was some in there too.
There were a few that hit it, but there were a few that's like, dude, we all don't say park the car in Harvard Yard. I mean, come on, what the fuck?
Yeah. But like the town, for instance, was where they did have some good ones. Jeremy Renner killed his, my opinion, and the gal that played the lead, the really young, long, blonde-haired actress that's married to Ryan Reynolds right now. What's her name?
Who is that?
Jeffrey Mark, you should know this. What's her name?
I should know this. I'm
She
staring
didn't
at
make an
him.
impression, apparently.
Right?
She did on me. She was excellent in the role, and her accent was spot on. I couldn't believe it. You know.
But
Yeah,
anyway, the show's not about them.
No, but I always tell people, you want to do a really, really good Boston accent, go look at Peggy Cass on any episode of To Tell the Truth from back in the day.
Yeah.
She is pure Boston.
She's real, right? I mean, there's like certain people can just pull it. Have you noticed, like, just walking around your daily life, there's just dudes that can do accents, you know? The whole idea that
Blake Lively.
Yeah, Blake Lively, that was it. She really killed that role in The Town, and she really did a good job with the accent. You know, I guess that was back before all this Hollywood crap took a hold of her. But there are some that can pull it off. You know, it's just that most can't. And unless you are spot on, Bostonians are going to call you on that shit 100% of the time.
Yeah, and they don't call us assholes for nothing,
right?
The movie is so Boston specific, and yet it's universally loved. So obviously the writing and directing and acting carried a story everybody could relate to for the kind of movie that it is. I mean, because it is cool, but it is special.
Well, I am a New Englander. That's where I grew up.
You are.
We always went to Celtics games and Sox games. In Boston, we had all our field trips down there, like Old Ironsides and stuff.
Okay, all three of you, please answer a question for me.
I love how we did that.
Why is it called the Boston Celtics and not the Boston Celtics?
You know what? I have no idea. It's just always been that way.
I know, but why? Because it should be Celtic. That's what the word is.
Because that's the way we freaking...
I'm sorry?
Isn't Celtic spelled with a K?
No.
See.
No.
Spelled.
I don't know. I mean, it's the Boston Celtics. You call it Celtics, and it's a fucking. It's got the Irish fucking logo.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
that just tells you how fucked up Boston is. Okay.
Jeffrey Mark just had a gotcha moment on all three of us. It's called the fucking Celtics because that's the way we want it. All right.
How it is.
Yes,
sir. Hat on.
Right. Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's Irish for you're fucked.
Yeah.
I think that's probably out of both movies one of my favorite one-liners.
Yeah,
you know,
it was funny. It's funny. Like after Boondock, that's kind of the giving people nicknames and having like one-liner things you burn your friends with. That was like just a New Englander thing I grew up with. So I wanted to kind of stock the movie up with it, and it was really funny because afterwards, you know, fans use those little terms in regular conversation. I can't tell you how many times, you know, I've been in bars and stuff and restaurants, and I'll hear somebody, you know, where are you going? Nowhere. You know, even though the smaller stuff.
Right.
But the height of it came, dude. Check this story out. Rocco comes back from speaking at a college like film school, and the college newspaper guy did a terrible review of Boondock. You know, we're bad with reviewers, but big with the fans. So they just smeared the movie. And the next day, there's another story in the college newspaper about this. It's called "Don't Ever Insult Boondock Saints in Public." And it's a story about how the reviewer was recognized at the bar the next night. And a couple fans came up, started questioning him. He started sticking up for himself. And he ended up surrounded by about 20 people. And they all pointed their fingers at him and recited the prayer in unison, the Brother's Prayer of Execution.
I fucking love it.
Oh, God. I would have given anything to have that on tape, you know? It's like the fans defend the freaking brand. It's crazy.
Well, it is, you know, and when somebody grabs a hold of something such as Boondock Saints, you know, because Jeffrey Mark asked, you know, why is it so universally loved? It was filmed in Boston, but its origins are Irish. So, you know, it's just, and of course you have the Russian mob, you have the Italian mob. So it just plays on everything.
Yeah, I was DEI before DEI was cool. Because I had one of my lead characters was gay. I was also LGBTQ before that was cool too. By the way, it's strange. I got thanked by so many by so many gay men for it, because a lot of the roles before that were just like very stereotypical stuff. But
Yeah.
you know, Willem's portrayal of this crazy brilliant FBI agent was just pretty damn commanding. So, you know, we really kind of, you know, I was trying to be inclusive, gentlemen.
It is greatly appreciated, sir.
Right. And he pulled off that role fucking amazingly.
Oh wow,
amazingly.
Dude, he killed it. But at some point, I mean, with guys like him, he's such a pro and he's such a vet, right? But he hasn't lost that childish thing. I mean, half the time it was like me and him playing in a sandbox, like kids building a castle together. You know, like the way I built the Russian suite where they came through the ceiling was a build, right? And I was really specific about it. I wanted this kind of sunken living room couch with a really big one with a ledge around it. And Willem just came on set and started walking on top of it, which wasn't the scene. He was just like, you know, checking stuff out. And we started rehearsing, and I was like, you know, you should dance. And he's like, what? That's totally inappropriate. I'm like, yeah. so yeah, we just kind of put that together and didn't really tell anybody. We blew the first take because everybody started laughing. He kind of left it in this place where, like, you know, it kind of makes me feel like river dancing. We kind of made up stuff, right there on set, and kind of ad libs. So he's like, kind of makes me feel like river dancing. And like the whole crew and the camera guys were waiting, like, he's not going to actually. And then he starts doing it, you know, and everybody busted up laughing. I was like, all right, that's happening now. We just made an ad lib change on the fly. Let's go. Let's get it again.
Right.
Well, I think you said a good sentence. Any good actor, if you're doing anything that's got any kind of comedy in it at all,
yeah,
there's like 3/4 of your brain has to be the lines, the direction, hitting your mark, and making your character and the backstory and all the stuff professionals have to do. But then 1/3 of your brain has to come to play.
Yeah.
And if you don't come to play, there's something missing.
That's a good way to put it. I almost call it keeping a hold of your inner child.
Oh, sure.
You know, and not forgetting that this is fun. You know, we're all making a film. We're all young. First, my 3 top leads were no names. You know?
Right.
I had never directed a film before. You know, that was the first script I had ever written. And we were just a bunch of kids, man. And somehow, some way, keeping that inner child alive and just like trying stuff and, you know, not searching down every mistake that was made and having sets like that where it was the set was just magic, man.
Why do you think this puzzles me a little bit? Usually when movies don't get very good reviews and box office isn't what you hope it would be, movies go away, and you hope in the old days that, you know, 11 o'clock at night, some TV station will show your old film. Your film did okay, but it wasn't this huge hit. And it went to home video, and what, 50 million, 60 million? How much money did you make?
Yeah, there was a lot, but
that's just domestic.
It's the story is actually a little more juicy than that.
Oh, please.
What you do when you make a small independent film, Boondock was shot for less than $6 million. What you do when you make that, when you're done, you take it to the studios, and the studios have their big little theaters on them, Paramount lot, Sony lot, you know, Warner Brothers. And they invite, you know, their employees down and buyers, and you're hoping that one of these big studios buys your film, gets behind it, puts it out in theaters. Our screenings for the industry happened just a few days after the Columbine incident. And so we had the screenings, and we had some of the most successful, like nobody was leaving. They tell you, you know, these people work here, so be prepared to have at least 50% of the audience leave. Nobody was leaving. And the audience response, I'm standing in the back and watching, it's off the fucking chain, right? So I'm like, all right, we got a hit here. But the writing was in the sand, you know. Finally, some, you know, big buyer came up to us and said, look, your movie's been blacklisted from U.S. theater screens. Nobody's going to take it out after this. And I don't know if you guys remember the sort of trench coat mafia thing. I had 2 characters in trenches almost the whole time. There was 2 young men that did the violence. Connor and Murphy were 2 young men. So there was like a whole bunch of odd, what they thought was parallels to it. So we were all crying in our beers. It got a theatrical release, but that's also not the story. We did what was called four-walling. You guys know what that is?
Yes, let's let our friends know what that is. You pay for it.
Yeah, you buy the tickets, and then hopefully they sell them at the theater and you recoup the money. So we just got 2 theaters, one on Hollywood and Vine and one out in Waltham, Massachusetts. So it wasn't much of a theatrical release. Like literally, there's no P&A, no trailers on TV, nothing. You were relying on people to go to that specific theater and be so enticed by the poster, I'll go check this out. And one of them actually did crazy business. The Waltham one happened to be a college town, and a couple of students saw it, and then more and more. And in a 5-week release, they made almost 40 grand. And they didn't want to give the thing up. They didn't want to give the print back. That was back when they had the film reels. They were actually showing it on film. They had to be threatened with legal by Blockbuster because it was going to invade on their rental window. Now, how did Boondock, after that shitty start, become what it did? I had a buddy, God rest his soul, Dean Wilson. He was the CFO of Blockbuster, and he watched the film and became probably the first Boondock fan, right? And he was like, "This is bullshit. We're going to give you what's called a Blockbuster exclusive." Now, what a Blockbuster exclusive is they release it in their stores, about 7,000 to 8,000 stores at the time, like a big movie. Instead of like the usual small indies had like maybe 2 copies a store, they were between 60 and 120, depending on the size of the Blockbuster. So it was like a whole wall of Boondock when you walked in. So people would be like, "Did I miss this one?" And what
like
happened?
Jeff?
Yeah. Well, I never went to Blockbuster.
Didn't go to Blockbuster either, huh? Do you
No.
do anything, Jeff? Huh? You do anything normal? The first fans thought it was some big movie they missed. They rented it. They loved it. They started sitting their friends down, and it became Blockbuster's highest selling straight to video they had in their history. And my buddy Dean from Blockbuster called me up and he was like, "You're not going to fucking believe this. It's like outselling movies with 10, 15 times the budget. It's our biggest seller." So we did very, very well that way. Once it touched the actual public and there was at least some type of distribution where kids could see it, those first ones, it just broke off. And the once they found out it wasn't in theaters, the first fans were like, "Finally, Hollywood makes a good one. You fuckers don't even put it in theaters." So my first fans were completely loyal because they felt like they found that diamond in the rough, right? Yet super pissed. It's like, you guys fucking really don't know, do you? And then over the years, why Boondock has become like this cult classic is because brother to brother, sister to sister, friend to friend, they sit them down. You're watching this movie, and a new fan is created, and he does the same thing. And there's something really cool about showing somebody Boondock for the first time that has no clue. Well, Jeff, we're giving you a lot of shit tonight, but you saw it, right? I mean, you had to kind of for this, I guess, but I mean, your reaction, right? I mean, at the end of the day,
it's phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely.
And I will attest to your story because I found it all these years ago going to my local Blockbuster. And, all these Blockbusters, and Blockbuster, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, once upon a time, you could go to a store and rent a VHS copy.
Yeah.
All right, now they're going to ask you what a VHS is.
Look it up. Google VHS if you don't know what that is. Why the fuck are you watching this show if you don't know that much? But I went to my local block, and there was always some guy there who hadn't washed his hair in about a week, who was he lived in the store behind the counter, and I was taking out some films to watch, and he had on the counter a little display of the film, and I said, "What's that? I've never heard of it. I've been in the show business since I'm 15 years old. Yeah. I know what's coming out." And I said, "I never heard of that." He says, "You gotta watch it, dude." I don't know how stoned he was. "You're gonna watch it, dude. Here, take it." You know what? That's how I became aware of it. I never went to number 2 because there's a second film. In
Yeah,
the
yeah,
series.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
got to see number
But-
2. The Mexican is crazy.
Yeah,
But-
I've heard your story, Jeff, so many times, and the real, if you even drive a little deeper on that, because you just kind of reminded me of something. Almost all those blockbusters have the employee picks.
Yeah.
They have the little shelf of just probably 3 to 5 movies of the employee favorites. And Boondock was on it all the time. And when those videos, they have this thing called sell through. It was a couple of million, VHS tapes with the sleeves on them. Those have become like really good, cherished finds for the fan base. I saw this guy one day who found one in like a at a tag sale.
Mhm.
He got it for 50 cents. Look at this. You could probably sell them for like $150.
Well,
Oh yeah, yeah. So, we've killed like 25 minutes just shooting the shit here. But I want to bring up the newest thing you have coming out, which is a novel.
Yes.
The Boondock Saints, Blood Origin, Volume 1. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I basically wrote my first book, just like I wrote my first script. I've been a reader my whole life. I'm always reading something. I was very intimidated at the thought of writing a book because that's where you kind of, jump on the porch with the big dogs. Like if you're going to say you're an author and a novelist, that's very different than I write scripts. No, regular people don't read scripts, but they do books. And I know the ones that changed my life from when I was a young man all the way to now. So I've worshipped the greats. We stand on their shoulders in terms of the writing world and the book world. And it was an intimidating process, but then I just decided, it was the time. And I wrote the first line, which is, "Talk, you little shite." And then it just came out like a waterfall, just never ended. And I wrote a book about double the size of a normal crime thriller and did the audio book. I narrated it myself with my voice, which is, your regular audio books anywhere from 6 to 8 hours long. Mine's over almost 18 hours.
Wow.
Brand new Boondock stuff. So what I was able to do is just run around in my mind in the Boondock world and not have to deal with actors and producers and agents and lawyers and DPs and film. It was just me and a keyboard, and it felt like, I don't know, coming home. It was odd to me how scared of it I was, but I became obsessed. Went to bed every night thinking about it. Woke up every day dreaming, me thinking about the new cool things I was going to do. So what it is, guys, is basically what's called a requel. Does anybody know what a requel is? There's like 20 quels. Well, a requel is this. It is a story that starts out as an origin story and then comes up to the beginning of the story, say the movie with Boondock, it would be the brothers living in Boston, their best friend's Rocco. Yeah. But then it's set in present day, right? It imagines the brothers, boots on the ground, the U.S. today. And then the story is very different, right? There's sort of little iconic moments woven in there, almost like a Da Vinci Code that fans will pick up on. But regular readers that don't know anything about Boondock won't. So that's kind of like a secret code in there for them. But it's essentially a new story. And I thought all the cool stuff you can't do in a movie. Brothers don't just come here from foreign lands and just start killing bad guys, especially illegal immigrants.
It would be cool.
It'd be totally cool if they did.
It'd be fucking cool as hell, but
but like, these guys do, and there's a story there. It's like, how did they get into? What were the footsteps down that dark path into the shadowy world of vigilantism? Because there had to be dissension. Like, were they going to go do something like that? That's not just like, let's go have a beer and discuss it. Right, there's a lot of story there. And what happens? Like, what does a man feel like the first time he takes a life? Connor and Murphy are very serious about that. They don't shoot the guard, the guy that's got a wife and kid at home and is probably making minimum wage. They make damn sure you make their list and you need to be taken out of the gene pool. So they take it very seriously, the ritualization of the bodies, the kind of faith, the faith aspect of it. So, and what would that be? Two boys And I love that there's brothers here because they're opposites in everything. Brothers disagree on everything. Sometimes just for the principle of it. You know, sky's blue, fuck you, it's purple. They'll just do that, right? So I wanted to have Connor and Murphy disagreeing on everything. One of them is a lot more spiritual than the other one. The other one's not sure. Like many people, he struggles with his faith. But that becomes a thing, right? Now that brother is going to be like, well, let's go do this, come on. You know, the guy's like, you realize what you do? Talking about killing a guy? Are you out of your fucking mind? You know, so you would have to imagine in any type of a real scenario, a real story, brothers like that would really get down. They would discuss it. They would come to blows. And when they went and did their first thing, they would have planned that shit to the last detail. And then it all goes wrong and they got to figure a clever way out of it. So with a book, I can take those moments, all the things I couldn't focus on in a movie, because you're in and out in an hour and 45, right? There's things you can't get into. Like one of the things I wanted to do with Rocco, for instance, he's a fucking basically a savant genius mafia soldier, and none of the guys in the mafia know, right? In the book, that's the way he is. That's the way I always wanted to do him, but we didn't have that kind of time. So Rocco had to be that almost cardboard cutout of your best buddy in high school or college that was down for anything. He would jump in and punch the other guy, whether you were right or wrong, and ask questions later, right? We all have a friend like that would take a bullet for us, almost like a puppy dog. Like, this is what you guys are doing now? I'm in. Let's go. Let's go. I know everybody. We could fucking kill everybody. So we all have had a friend like that, and that's what I concentrated on in the movie. Now, with all these characters, not just Rocco, with all the good guys, all the bad guys, especially the brothers, I get to do deep, deep dives into them. We start the boys out when they're 13 years old. They've both been arrested for a violent crime, and you're just thinking, what could they have possibly done at 13 years old? Then when you find out, you're like, oh, wow, you know, it's actually kind of, that feels right. It's not some stupid thing. They didn't kill anybody at 13, but they did something super violent for a super good fucking reason and got caught, right? So when they grow up and become 23 years old, the reason, and they get to the United States, steal across the Canadian border and get to Boston, that feels like the beginning of one, right? And it sort of is, but it's set in present day, all right? And the reason I did that was because I want to not only have crime and criminals changed, and we have in the last 25 years, and we have a much more rich range of targets these days, people that we want to see die, right? Not only that, but I wanted the brothers to see, hear, feel, and smell what we all do every day. The shit we walk by in the streets and shake our heads about. The things we've accepted as just a new shitty part of American life that the brothers wouldn't. They just kind of remind us of kind of who we were supposed to be. And also, I mean, imagine that. Two boys grew up their whole lives working 7 days a week, get that little nest egg together of cash so that when they get here, they have got it all planned out, and they get here to get their slice of the American dream. They want to start their own construction company, McManus Brothers Construction, only to find what we all see every day, only to find what's happening now, that the American dream itself is crumbling right in front of all of us, you know? So I thought, what a much better place to put Connor and Murphy, you know? That wonderful question, what would happen if they were here today? For real, who would they take out and why? And how would they do it? How would it change from back in the day? Remember, we didn't have internet and smartphones and all this social media shit back then. Here they do. How is that going to help them, hurt them? How are they going to use it to get away or do things better or find things out about targets? So I just felt that making it a present day story had a lot more benefit. And, you know, also over the years, I mean, people have asked me, like, you know, how did you kind of know all this story? It's from fans, really. They've asked me every question imaginable, you know, and some of them are pretty logical, like, you know, where did they grow up in Ireland? Or why didn't they know their father when they saw him? Did they grow up without him? But then you got things like, how'd they meet Rocco? And I'd be like, why would you even be thinking about something like that? These infinitesimal little questions. So then they got me thinking, and I'd always answer that question in my head. But what's different about Boondock is and I don't know why this is, the way that fans take it extremely personally. Not all of them, but a lot. They take it very, very personally. Those brothers are very special to them. So when, I obviously took that into consideration when doing the book, but it's different, like just think of the guys, think of the great characters that we love in movies, right? I remember like one of my first, fell in love with Smokey and the Bandit, right? But I didn't care. I never asked, I wonder how Smokey's relationship with his mom is. And
Right.
these fans do, and deeper stuff, like things that even to me sound like that's crazy that you'd even think that. But what the book is basically 1,000 questions from fans answered, and I gave him probably 2,000 more. But what I tried to do, and our first reviews are telling me I got this done. I slammed a home run here. What I tried to do is take everything you love about Boondock Saints to the next level. The humor, the one-liners, the crazy action, but have brand new stuff in there that you didn't even know you wanted, like the prep stages of this, how they choose a target and why, all the back and forth, showing the emotional and physical minefield the brothers go through in order to just even agree to do it. Those types of things. Yeah, that's if they basically said, hey, we're just going to give you a TV show to do on this, I'd just take the book and go,
Now you did a TV show, as a matter of fact. You did a show, Origins.
We the book is called Boondock Saints Volume 1 Blood Origin. We tried to do a TV show. That just didn't work out. Yeah, that was going to be called Origins, but that just didn't work out. We tried like hell, and a lot of the story that I developed for the TV show, I kind of repurposed some of that for the book.
I only brought it up so because I know you have a huge fan base, so they don't get confused.
Yeah.
I'm answering a question. I can hear them asking, so we're answering the question for them while we're watching here.
Oh, so yeah, ESP tonight.
Well,
he's got his ESP on tonight.
No, he's absolutely right. I mean, even in like reviews, they'll mention it. Wasn't there supposed to be a television show? I tried desperately to get it made, and a strange thing was this was about 2 years ago. I was staring down the gun barrels at two deals. That TV deal, finally out of the blue, comes at us with Universal Television, man. They were going to do the Boondock Saints television series, and I'm through the roof. And the other one was a deal for Boondock 3 that I was making with a company called Thunder Road. They're the guys that did John Wick and Sicario. They're basically the independent action franchise kings. So I'm making both deals. We're literally negotiating, but I'm not telling the sides about each other. So by the time they both get ready to get signed, I'm thinking we can do both. This story takes place in present day. There's got to be two new young 20-something brothers, and the movies can just go live over there. And both sides said nope. So I had to make Sophie's choice. They consider, each one considered the other competition, and I couldn't talk them out of it. So it was Sophie's choice time, and I knew my fans wanted to see Sean and those boys in those peacoats killing bad guys the Boondock Saints way. So I, grabbed my balls, bit my lower lip, and did the movie deal instead of the television deal, which I really, really wanted to do and had worked very hard on for a long time.
But there's nothing saying that after 3, if you decide that, you could approach or reapproach the TV deal. Before we go too much further, folks, I do want to say, if you're interested in anything we're talking about tonight, whether it be the movies or the books, because I'm sure there's going to be more.
Oh, there will be.
Well, if it's volume one would expect some more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Bunch of fan reviewers are already like, "Where's the next one? Where's 2? Where's that?" Yeah, so it's a series. I'll probably do like 10. And I'm obsessed with it now, man. It's like that new thing you find out,
Right.
I'm on this.
So I'm curious. Did you have a traumatic experience as a child?
Many, but they were all just like fun New England stories.
Well, I'll ask a question completely off topic. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Is it possible for you to tell an interesting story about Pauly Shore?
Yeah. Pauly, here's an interesting story. We did Guest House. Me and my buddy Sam Macaroni. This was right during COVID. And Pauly was a friend, and we wanted to bring him back. He loved the script. It was basically about this guy that lives in a guest house, and new family buys the house, and they try to kick him out, and it goes, War of the Roses. And yeah, we had the #1 comedy in America when it came out, and nobody noticed. It was #1 on Netflix. Nobody was obviously allowed to go to theaters, but we held that for 2 weeks, and we had these really quiet parties. Like, yeah, we're #1. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody knew. Also, Pauly, he came over the house, and this one time, like, he lost his hat, right? He's like, where is it? And he was high, and he was looking around, and I remember turning, because I had this kind of outdoor kitchen, and I had this big, lobster pot. And he took the lid of the lobster pot and looked down in it for his hat. And I was like, why the fuck? I mean, if there's one place it's not, it's in a pot. You think he would have forgot you put it in there? But yeah, Pauly's funny and kind of can't get in word edgewise. He's funny as hell.
I'm asking because, like every other stand-up who worked a while ago, I knew Mitzi and Sammy as parents, and just thought I'd give them a plug.
Yeah, Pauly's stand-up is fantastic. And it's strange. I just got back from Skankfest in New Orleans, which is gathering a lot of the biggest comedians. I met some of my faves, man. I met Jeff Dye. I met Shane Gillis, Harlan Williams, man. They had this kind of back green room, and my comedy heroes were just filtering through, and I was like, hey!
They're all Irish. That's interesting.
Yeah, they were all Boondock fans, crazy enough.
So what I was saying, folks, is just check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. All the links are there.
Yeah, and just for anybody that
buy the fucking book.
Yeah, the book's available on Amazon and Audible. If you want to listen to 18 hours of my commanding voice.
Troy, who's your publisher?
This is self-published, and now a lot of fans are asking about the hard copy. Now, here's another fun story. We had sent, the book, which wasn't completed yet. We just sent like the first, say, 20 chapters. It ended up being 45 to a bunch of publishers, and we're just getting turned down everywhere. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like any Boondock fan would be like, what? It's Boondock Saints. Published the book. And then I found out that wokeism has crept into the book business. They now have, and I'm not shitting you, they have sensitivity readers. And as soon as I heard that term, I was like, we're fucked. We are totally, there is nothing sensitive about Boondock Saints. In fact, the way we make our sausage is through political incorrectness, like a mother. So I'm not going to change that. So we just decided, let's. We were offered a publishing deal, and it was just kind of so bad, and unworthy. I felt of Boondock and these fans. I was like, no, let's just kind of do what we've always done, hardcore it, grab that ball, shoulder it, and go through the fucking wall. We do enough on enough ebooks on Amazon and audiobooks on Audible. We'll turn around and make some type of physical book deal with a publisher, but we got to show them the numbers first, which are coming and do the reviews. I am currently enjoying a 5.0 review out of 5.
Right on.
Couldn't believe it. That's
Right.
going to end, obviously, but now. But yeah, that was it's insane, and it was a love letter to the fans. But you don't have to know Boondock Saints to read it. It's a crime thriller. The same people that like Connolly's Bosch novels, which I love, or Lee Child's Jack Reacher novels, which I love, could read this and totally understand everything that's going on. So it's for fans and newbies alike. It's just that fans will kind of get the Da Vinci Code I put in there.
I could be subtle about this, but we talked before the show started, and you mentioned a phrase that you would like us to mention, and I'm not sure I understand what it is. So, sir, would you please talk to us about vertical dramas?
All right, vertical dramas. This right here, that's the new television set.
Right.
All right, and not just
Your screen shut off. You held your phone up and it went black.
We were hoping I had naked pictures of my girl in there. No,
no, I didn't actually.
These are the new television sets, and are going to be for all of us. What a vertical drama is picture just a television show or a movie chopped up into 2-minute sections. Okay, they've just started doing this. This is like about a year and a half ago they came out. So what happens is, that you click on a vertical drama, say on an app called My Drama. They're the biggest ones, right? Or Real Shorts are there too. You just pick a drama, some story you like. Or my boss is a vampire, and you like watching the first 2-minute episode. Great. Second, these are things you can do on the bus or wherever on your break, and you keep going the show. Then it hits a paywall, like 10, 11 episodes, and now you pay like a couple cents for each one, right? They made almost $7 billion in the first year of this, right? Kids would just find them. But it's really the Wild West. The guilds, like Writers Guild, Directors Guild, SAG, they don't know what to do. They're not in that yet. So anybody can just film anything, basically. So all these dramas right now, it's the Wild West, and I believe in it for that reason, right? This is going to have to happen at some point, and these are the first footsteps. Now, right now, almost all women. These are Harlequin romance novel type things. My CEO boss got me pregnant. My boyfriend's a werewolf. It's that kind of thing, right? And teeny bopper chick stuff too. So it's super annoying, but there's nothing there. Even the genres, there's not really any comedies. There's no horror. There's no action films for sure. There's nothing for dudes, right?
Yeah, nothing for me.
I intend to change that, So I basically got contacted by Alex Kane, this guy Alex Kane, Southern Georgia, who just got the biggest contract ever to 100 vertical dramas when Fox put $100 million and bought My Drama, making it the biggest broadcasters of these things. And people still don't know about them. And they can be super cool. You watch them on your phone. They just call them vertical dramas because they're shot vertically, right? And you have to kind of change how you shoot something if you're shooting this way, right? Instead of like a normal movie screen or a TV screen. Right. So it's a whole new way of filmmaking. It's also a way that I love because it keeps writers and directors on their toes, because you got 2 minutes. You got to leave it on a little cliffhanger or something funny or some reason for them to click the next one and the next one and the next one. And then by the time they have to pay, they don't give a shit because they're loving this, right? So that's what I'm getting into. I've written something called The Sacrament. And the idea here is to get, I'm also talking to a lot of my friends who are famous actors and other filmmakers. The idea is to get real filmmakers and real, kind of celebrity actors into some of these and see what you can really pull off, because, we got to do something for men in that format. And I think, I would love to be the first to do it. So there's the whole pitch on verticals, guys.
And you just lit a fire. You're not even aware. Ben's head exploded internally while you were talking. You just changed Ben's entire life.
No, I was laughing and my head almost exploded because he's talking about something that I turned and looked over my shoulder because usually my wife is outside my office because we only smoke in this one area of the house.
Yeah.
All the smoke eaters and stuff. And she's on like episode 879 of a fucking vertical drama that she watches.
Yeah, they can get crazy, man, and it's just a way. Like look at all that's happened in the the internet and podcasting and social media.
Yep.
Attention spans are going down and down and down. But for guys like me, that presents a great opportunity. Not only are these things all shot within like 7 days,
Right.
You can shoot probably 10, 11 episodes of 100 and have them out like that in 7 days. So it's almost like I talk to my friends, they're like, oh yeah, I put this great political thing that was going on. I'm like, that your film's not coming out for a year and a half. However contemporary, cool you think, nobody's thinking about that anymore.
Right.
Now it's like we can just do what's hot now, and it's coming out in 7 fucking days. So
right.
Can I play devil's advocate with you about that, Troy?
Yeah. Go ahead.
But I know a lot of people in the business living on the West Coast. There's 9 million people out there who are shooting films with their cameras, with their phones.
Yeah.
And they film 3 minutes of something. They pan around, they hold it up, and they turn around, and they think they've made a film.
Yeah.
They don't know a Leica from a Fresnel. They don't know anything about cameras or lenses or lighting or makeup or craft. Isn't there a chance we're going to lose movie craft if everything goes that way?
There is, but think of it this way. Most movies suck, right? Even the people that do know the difference, even the professionals that make them, Hollywood, most movies totally suck. It's only that small percentage, some of the Marvel stuff when they get that right, but even they've started to fall down quite a bit, and it's the same in the independent world. You're not when you talk about films like Pulp Fiction, Clerks, any Rodriguez stuff or Boondock Saints. When you do that, you're talking about the 1%, right?
Oh yeah.
The 99% suck. So what you're saying, Mr. Mark, is something we've always known, that very, very few people are talented enough and good at this, and it happens very few times that enough of them get together to make something great, right? So you're right. Almost all of those films suck, but you got to admit, every now and then you see one, you go, that kid with his stupid camera phone or the backup camera on his car made something really cool.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just concerned that if that becomes the focus, we're going to lose the craft, and then the next generation of young people won't have anything to learn from.
Oh, I don't think you're going to lose the craft. I think the craft is evolving. That's all.
Yeah, or giving us just another facet, another product, right?
Right.
I love going to the movies when I can. The experience has gone down for me, but I don't believe movie theaters are actually going anywhere at the end of the day. I love seeing great stuff on streaming. That's another product. We can get anyone on streaming. I love putting in a DVD, of something that I own, and now we can go watch verticals and stuff on our phones. And they're going to start translating. They already have actually started translating movies into verticals. All right. Yep. So I believe that they're probably going to shoot most things both ways, up and down, horizontally and vertical. So they have a whole new monetization thing over here. You can get it in 2-minute shots. And then, what if it becomes an advertising thing? You're on the bus on the way home. Oh, that looks cool. Then you just go call it up on Netflix and watch it. There's all kinds of things. To me, because I thought about everything like that before I kind of made the decision to jump in the pool on this one. And yeah, there's a lot you can say against it. And almost everything that I've seen work, almost everybody said that, They
I agree with you about that.
The bad stuff.
Well, look at shows like this, for instance.
Yeah.
We started out, doing this during COVID, actually right before COVID, literally right before COVID. We had 19 shows booked. Jeff and I also wrote a novel that went to comic books, and started
Sweet.
animation.
What's it
The
called?
long story. It's called Toking with the Dead.
Cool.
Zombies and weed.
All right.
So I actually sent Bethany. Was that her name, Bethany?
Yeah.
I sent Bethany the link to the website.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. So where I was going with that is that was 6 seasons ago. We were on like 3 platforms, but we could see where things were going with streaming and in platforms and pre-recorded versus live. The beauty of live is people can interact if they want to. Or I answer all the questions, 3 months from now when they watch it again.
All right. Well, then you guys are living proof. You're seeing what I'm seeing. You saw what I'm seeing now.
Well, right.
And when you believe in something too. I mean, you guys are talented dudes.
Absolutely.
Easy to talk to. I'm sure you were thinking, well, this feels like a ball's rolling. Feels like something's happening here. So that's what it feels like for me with this. Yeah.
Good,
well,
because I have just started. These guys don't even know yet. I have just started writing my first novel, and it is a murder mystery that includes famous situation comedy characters after their shows were over, like you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's later on in their lives that the fans don't know about, and it's a murder mystery. And you've just convinced me I'm on the right track.
Great. I mean, yeah, you guys did it. I think that there's a bunch of innovators out there now, and as much as people kind of harsh on the internet and social media and all, there are some bad things about it, but there are also some great things about it. It's made a lot of people a lot of money. It's given us a whole bunch of great entertainment. I barely watch the news anymore. I get it all from podcasts with people who I know are knowledgeable and have no skin in the game. So why would they lie?
Right. I mean, the whole vertical drama thing got me thinking, because like I release like TikTok shorts about the show. So I'll take a clip out of this and put it up there, and it does pretty good. You know what I mean? But I don't do it enough to give a fuck. But a show, a show like this, I mean, we've been blessed over 6 seasons to go from, having like second generation Disney legend animators on to folks like fucking Richie Ramone. And,
wow.
You know,
shit, huh?
Dave Elfson from Megadeth last week.
You're kidding.
Dee Wallace, Eric Roberts. I mean, some big fucking names.
Yeah.
But we could go back and take those, like you said, you give them 5 minutes free, 10 minutes free, 30 minutes free, but the next 30 minutes of the show, you got to pay for.
Oh, is that how you do it? See?
Well, I'm taking the vertical drama. See?
Oh,
so
yeah.
You got my brain spinning on other ways
that's
to
what I
integrate.
saw. That's what I
Other
saw.
ways, other ways to integrate what we do in an easy aspect. So I want to thank you for that one.
Yeah. At my age, I mean, I just hope I remain vertical for longer than I usually do.
They make pills for that.
Yeah, they've already proven the theorem. I mean, 7 billion in the first year is not a bad number. It should be telling everybody, like, there's something there. There's something there with this. That doesn't really happen,
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's not going to replace what's going on right now right away anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think it's just something new. People are going to catch on to it. But if I want to sit down and watch a movie, I'll go to my streaming service and I'll watch it on my screen.
Yeah.
Right. Like I wouldn't be able to watch Boondock Saints like that. It's just I wouldn't be able to do it. Because I'd be like, no, I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting 15 seconds for this to load.
Man, you never know. Maybe like the new Boondock keeps making new fans all the time, because it's almost become a rite of passage the way people show people when they become of age. But I think that next generation is probably going to see a Boondock Saints on a vertical. They're going to start seeing the grit. Like I don't know if you guys get, my daughter's 12 years old. Her favorite movies and music is all from the 80s. And I had nothing to do with it. Nothing. She's telling me, I love 16 Candles. I'm like, how do you even know that? She knows
Right.
all the tunes and everything. There's this, I don't know. There's this,
There's a nostalgia for the 80s going on.
there you go. 80s and 90s.
Well,
Yeah. The nostalgia out there.
I think a lot of it has to do with their upbringing, what the parents are watching. Because I have 2 granddaughters that are going to be 3 years old in January. They're 9 days apart. One lives with me. I went upstairs the other day, and she is literally mocking the zombies in Michael Jackson's Thriller video because her mom was watching it, and she's dancing to it. And I was like, wait a minute. No. What in the fuck is going on here?
All right. Can we just all say the quiet part out loud? Movies and music were just way better back then. Agreed?
I think so.
Yes.
I think
It's
so.
just
I
so
have
much
to
better.
agree.
And
I have to agree.
and people just naturally gravitate towards great story and characters. That's why all these kids are they're seeing schlock that's produced today, and then they'll see like a 16 Candles or a Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yep.
Just fun, funny, great story, great character, and they'll just, they'll just
Well,
like it.
I think back in the day, though, too, that, just like yourself, it was done with a passion. Where today, I think a lot of it's done for the money.
Yeah, I think
And it was done without very much CGI and without any AI. They're seeing
Well,
real
and the biggest thing was that back when these movies were made, you could say certain things like "fuck off," and it wouldn't offend 90% of the population.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that
a big
changed.
problem. But I mean, what you said, Mr. Mark, was that's kind of that's the way I'm. What I think is that the focus has turned away from the craft, especially with today's generation. They want instant gratification. They don't want to do the work. Every time a writer, for instance, a young writer, will come up to me, "What do I do? How can I get read?" No. I'm like, you know what you should do? Read.
Yeah.
You want to be a great writer, read your ass
Absolutely.
off. Know what good writing is, know what shitty writing is, know what mediocre writing is, know what excellent writing is. Go do the work and then be only concerned about your product. Stop thinking about what agent can I call, And 9 times out of 10, because I had a period where I read those scripts and it all sucked, obviously. But these were kids, students and stuff, trying to come up and do what I did. And I was just so depressed. I'm like, wow, I got to tell these guys, something. And it was really terrible. And I realized it's because they just don't care.
Right.
They don't care about it.
It's
they
true.
don't care about that craft. So their shit sucks. And that's why we have so much shit that sucks today.
Right.
I often, I'm the oldest guy in the room. Being the age that I am, I'm often asked, like, how did you break through? How come you've had this incredibly stupid long career? Well, burning ambition, but burning passion.
Yep.
I learned my craft. I did the work. I read the books. I know about 600 songs, lyrics in my head.
Yeah.
That I can deconstruct the chord structures to when I say, because I'm also a singer and other things.
Yeah.
I walk in knowing, like what I do, don't like what I do, but I know what the fuck I'm doing. And young people don't want.
Yeah, it's like they
F-bomb.
Ben is. I don't curse hardly ever on the air.
I bring it out of you, Jeff.
Yes.
Don't do that.
You keep doing that, and you will indeed, my friend.
Look at that, Ben and Log Cabin Jeff. Log Cabin Jeff and Ben. I just got Jeffrey Mark to swear on your show. Ben,
Do that.
I feel
Yes,
like
you
it's a
did.
gotcha
Yes,
moment.
you did.
I gotcha, you motherfucker.
You sweet talker, you keep talking, baby.
No, but I mean, your point's well made.
Yes.
What they've done is they've skipped the talent step.
Yes.
And they want to get right to red carpets and all the glamour and all the money. And that's why so much of the stuff is ass backwards these days. And when it comes to like wokeness, what they did to Star Wars alone, somebody should have their ass removed for that, But wokeifying all these great American brands that we love, Marvel brands and fucking Star Wars and Star Trek. Though Star Trek wasn't quite as bad, it was still, And now people are super, super sensitive to it. We know we're being sold something. There's some kind of little political agenda here, and we hate it. We hate it. That's why in the middle of all that, they released Maverick, Top Gun 2, dude. And it made like $1 billion in theaters. Everybody went to see it because finally,
I still haven't seen it.
You haven't? Oh God, you gotta. You'll love it.
Well, yeah, maybe
it
we get
virtually
one of the...
saved the studio that they made it for. Everybody's like they're all losing money because they're doing all this crap that we don't want to see. Even the big tent poles, a lot of them are falling down. And then Maverick comes along, and I thought that was going to be it, right? I was like, all right, they must know now, that we got to go back to actual storytelling and characters and giving a shit about stuff and putting a group of talented people together to get good shit. But they didn't. They kept right on going. Right now, what I think is that the pendulum is kind of swinging back the other way. A friend of mine, Chris Gore, the other day said the best thing about it. He said, what's happening now in the movie and television industry is that the fever has kind of passed. The patients survive. We're past it. He still needs to be bedridden, given medicine. He's not ready to go run a marathon yet, but the fever's broken. So I think that's where we are too right now.
Well, I'm gonna take this opportunity to give a plug to Naomi and Jason Brooks for their work and what they did with the Death of Snow White, because they released that movie the same week that Disney did the re-release and the remake of their Snow White, which failed miserably.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
the Death of Snow White, independent filmmakers. It was real. It's action packed. There's no CGI. There's none of that
It was
bullshit.
a great fucking movie.
I gotta check that out. You guys are giving me like a list of stuff I gotta go see or read.
And it's fantastic. Yeah.
Read some of my books, Troy, while you're at it.
Okay, cool.
The Death of Snow White is on Tubi right now.
Tubi. Okay, cool. I got Tubi. All right. I'm in.
Cool. And they've done a lot of other stuff too. Once you see it, you'll be like, oh, okay, these guys are fucking good.
You guys got to have me on again in a couple months after I've seen some of this stuff, and I had no idea.
Once a year, that's it, man.
Yeah,
once a year.
Cabin Jim, Jeff.
Once a year. Well, it's funny. It's funny because over 6 seasons, we've only had now 4 guests that ever came back a second time. Because, not to toot our horn or anything, but I literally deal with like 13 different agencies.
Yeah.
And there's only 4 shows a fucking month.
Yeah.
So the show's usually booked 2 months, 3 months in advance.
Yeah.
And then somebody will call me and be like, oh, I got this movie coming out next month. And I'm like, dude, I'm booking for fucking February.
Yeah.
If you want to come out in February.
Thanks for fitting me in, but the reason I was because you
guys, no, we'll definitely I'd have you back on again.
Like smoke weed and shit. We should all have a beer next time. We should do the beer cast.
The beer cast.
Yeah. Well, I'll have coffee, but you guys can have beer.
So, I mean,
now you're in New England, but whereabouts? Whereabouts in New England?
I am now in Tennessee, actually.
You're in Tennessee.
I obviously lived in LA for 30 years. As soon as COVID hit, I had to get the fuck out. It was insane, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So got the hell out of there, moved to Nashville, Tennessee for a host of reasons. I'm just outside of Nashville, but I want to go back. I've had enough of the country life. There is nothing going on out here, dude. I live in this little tiny town, and it's just.
So
at first I was like, "This is great," and the people are the best. It's almost like I wish I could take people from Tennessee and transplant them to LA.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
And I know it sucks.
We're a little bit over time, but I do.
Well, we can, guys. Just for me, don't worry. We can go as far over as you want.
All right. So I want to ask. You mentioned 3 Boondocks 3.
Yeah, I was just going to ask.
Is there anything that you can talk about? I know. A lot of times when filming, there's a lot of NDAs involved.
Yeah.
But where you're the actual writer and the motherfucking mind behind it, is there any thing that you can tell us?
Yeah. Here's what we're doing. I am writing and producing this one. I have written. That 2 years ago when I made that deal with these guys. That was the deal. Now, what happened was Thunder Road seeks to elevate the franchise, right? They want to do a 3, 4, and 5 in kind of short order and really kind of take it up a notch towards that John Wick type thing, but in a Boondock way. So they're really good at that, so I had to kind of give up the director's chair, which that sucked, but I was like, okay, they've got the script. I'm producing. Norman's big whoopee shit now because of Walking Dead. And he needs to work with A-list directors, so I get it, right? But the idea was that they were basically going to take some of the muscle and tissue from my script, because there's a bunch of story elements they want to keep in there. Bring in one of their kind of in-house writers and put their sauce on it so that they can do a 3, 4, and 5 in rapid succession. They really want to. They're real huge Boondock fans over there, and they really think they can kind of take it to the next level. So I love all that. And so what's happening now is they've got one of their guys working on it, and we should have a script here pretty soon that's kind of a DNA thing twisted together between my story and his, at least for this one. And they're looking at first or second quarter of 26 to start filming. That's what they're aiming for. So hopefully, keep our fingers crossed. And even then, once they film a movie, it doesn't come out for minimum of a year, and that's super fast, by the way. So it'll be a year and a half, before anybody sees anything. But at least, we'll all know that, because I get knocked in the head by fans like that. If I'm like, even just doing like a TikTok video of me, here's my recipe for deviled eggs. Where's 3, you motherfucker? That's what I get.
Well, Troy,
It's like, meet my daughter. Isn't she cute? Where's 3, asshole? So I get it all the time. But if they make it, at least we can. Yes, Mr. Mark.
You won't say this because you're a gentleman, but your feelings are terribly hurt that you have to give up control of the script completely and give up the director's chair to someone they like. That's really hurt you, Troy. I can tell 3,000 miles away your pain. Well, therefore, in that contract, there needs to be an extra 0 to make up for your pain.
There's plenty of zeros in there. I made the decision knowing exactly what the ball game was. And frankly, that was one of the things that allowed me to write the book. That was the thing that kicked me in the ass. And on top of it, guys, I thought it was going to be, you're an artist, Jeffrey Mark. You're an artist, so you understand that. And yeah, it hurts and stuff. It's like giving up a baby or almost like pushing your baby out in the world. They're on their own now, 18 years old. Let's see what you can do. But at the same time, it felt like 1,000,000 pounds came off my shoulders when what people don't understand, what fans don't understand, it's really not anybody's business but mine anyway, is how difficult this is. I'm just one guy. Getting people to give me millions of dollars to make these movies, and not having, distribution in place, not being some big power broker. My first movie, my top 3 leads, fucking all no names, but getting marquee players like Willem and Billy Connolly in there. All that is just fighting and fighting and fighting and grinding and pushing forward all the time. And I didn't even realize it. Like the day I signed that contract, that all went away. And I felt like 1,000,000 pounds lighter, and I started writing my book, and I was like, wow, where has this been for my whole life? So my life has changed. I'm a little bit sort of reinventing myself, but I'll tell you what, it's just been fun as hell. I'm going to dive into verticals. I'm going to do one called The Sacrament that Boondock fans are going to fucking flip out over. It's not Boondock, but it's vigilantism in a new way. I am going to keep writing these books, and, there are some film opportunities coming up, too. I'm almost like that guy. Who was it? You remember that documentary they did looking for John, what was it, John Huston, John Landis? Searching for John something. There was a director of all those big 80s movies that just went and was a hermit. I think it was
Landis, not Huston was dead already. Yeah,
maybe Landis. It was John Landis. And Yeah, kind of like that. I'm getting, calls out of the blue from producers and film companies that are like, dude, you did one of my favorite movies and then just stopped. What the fuck is going on? And a lot of that had to do with a scurrilous documentary that was done on me called Overnight. But a lot of it was just, Boondock, Boondock was all they were going to let me do. I was throwing scripts at these companies that I was working with, I just made you a lot of fucking money, did a really success. They only want to hear about Boondock, that was it. To keep the model, keep the budget low, to make us a whole shitload of money. So I became that guy, and that sort of, it sucks that it kind of dripped over into the fan base. The ones that yell, where's 3? That's all we want to talk about. What's actually hurtful, Mark, is the fact that you don't find fans necessarily going, hey, you did this thing we love. What else you got?
Right.
It's almost like a band that has those famous songs.
Mm-hmm.
They want to just keep hearing those over and over again. If you get another hit, great, but they're not looking for that. Just do it just like the album, Do your movie just like, give us Vigilantes, give us Boondock Saints. And there are. The next thing I wrote after Boondock was a script called The Blood Spoon Council, and we're very, very. That's just suddenly got all the heat in the world on it right now, and we may be doing that, as a big movie with some big fucking actors, man, and some much bigger budget and. That was going to be, it's like I did Boondock, is like, this is going to be a franchise. I knew it from the beginning, that's why I left it on a cliffhanger so I could make 2 and now 3. This was the next one. Blood Spoon is basically a story about it's called the Blood Spoon Council, and what they are is a group of vigilantes that somehow identifies, hunts down, snatches, and executes serial killers, and basically drops their bodies off the front door of the FBI. And so the FBI is going after them, but really what they're doing is going, how the fuck are they pulling this off? They basically have a master profiler that's way, way different than anybody else.
I can't fucking wait for this one.
Yeah,
Of
well,
course,
I mean,
if you made a film about hunting down snatches, that would also be very popular.
hunting down what?
Snatches. I'm just repeating your words, sir.
See, but that's my type of
So you're like a psychological thriller guy, huh?
I fucking love that stuff.
Right, well, let me hit you with a couple of little more aspects of the story. One of the things I like about it is it's basically a cat and mouse story, because what happens is you find out the profiler of the counselors is this slow gin, Southern talking, Doc Holliday sounding man, this Southern guy named John Declan. And he just happens to be what's called a 1%er in the profiling world. That, they know all the science and stuff and the psychology, but they seem to be magic. They can pick that one thing out, 10 things out, because they get into the guy's mind, and always when they catch them, they find that's why they're so successful. In the last 10 years, the FBI has caught maybe 3 serial killers, and they virtually had to walk in and turn themselves in, but the council has gotten 7 in 5 years. So what they do is they bring in another 1%er who's a young kid. So it's almost like a father and a son story. They're not related, obviously. He hates the FBI, doesn't want to work for them. They've tried to get him to, join their program and behavioral sciences, and he won't do it. So he's written some of the most, the best books, the tomes on profiling, and he goes through cases, and he they basically take him down to a sub basement and tell him the secret. Look, there's this Blood Spoon Council is what they're calling themselves. And here's all the info. They've gotten 7 serial killers in the last 5 years, and the guy's blown away. He's like, "What are you talking about? That's impossible." So when he starts he can't not do it now. He's too interested. He's like, "Who the fuck is it? Who's the guy that's doing this?" And he knows the whole time the FBI just wants their profiler. They know that's how they're doing it. And whoever that guy is, they're going to put him in leg irons, and then they're going to make him work for them, you know? So Frank, the young guy, knows that, and he just wants to meet him, you know?
Troy, I'm stopping you only because we've got about 2 million people who will eventually be watching or listening to this. Don't give it all away. Someone's going to steal it.
This is just you guys make me talk. You're good at gabbing. But what I love about it is, I mean, everybody loves serial killers, right? No spoilers from this point forward, Mr. Mark. But everybody loves serial killers, and one of the reasons we love them is the curiosity of it. We cannot believe that they could sexually be turned on by doing something like that, by murdering somebody.
Right.
And all the little tiny ridiculous. Like I did 2 years of investigation. Even talked to some profilers before setting pen to paper on this. I just really, really wanted to know. I have the same curiosity. Why would a guy do that? You know, and why does that particular really odd thing turn you on? How could that be? You know, we can't understand that. That's why we're so curious about them. So what I did was I took some of the aspects of what you could call the quote unquote greatest serial killers of all time. And that's what we're dealing with here. My spin on them, and you're going to see how the psychology of it all, how they catch them, how they're actually doing it. You know, it's
When
almost
you
like
come-
setting up an impossible thing. What I'm going to make you do in the first act is go, you're basically saying these guys have a new way of doing it. And now you're going to have to show us that, you know, which is a very difficult thing to do.
Yes,
but I
sir.
do it.
When you come out to the West Coast, Troy, when you move back, I am taking you to Hannibal Lecter's cell,
Oh, is that the one on Hollywood Boulevard underneath that place, the museum thing?
to which I am attached. Yes.
Been there.
I will-
I love it. Dude,
I will
wanna
take
go-
you on a private tour.
All right, let's make a deal. How about this? I've had this skit, like a comedy skit, that I wanted to do on Hannibal Lecter, where he's a pseudo-intellectual. He's not actually smart at all, so all of his shit falls flat. Everybody around him. I would love to shoot it in there.
I can arrange that.
See, the more people you know, man.
Well, you've been calling
So-
me Mr. Mark all afternoon and evening, so just for that respect, I will take you personally, and we'll. Make
I don't think it was respect. I just don't think he wanted to be Jeffrey and Jeff.
Yeah. You got two Jeffs on the show.
All right, can
You're
I
Mr.
pretend
Mark,
it was
and that's
respect? Is that okay?
Yes, you can.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
From
you
now
can.
on, you will forever be known as Mr. Mock and Log Cabin Jeff.
Well, I like wood.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
we live
jeez.
way out in the woods where nobody does anything or sees movies and shit. Hey, Jeff, you see this new thing they invented called a car? It's crazy. Oh, well, I haven't got around to it. I'm out in the hinterlands.
Hey, I
My
spent a
log
lot of
cabin.
time in the woods of Maine.
Yeah.
I have an excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you churning butter the whole time? Huh? In your horse and fucking buggy?
No, I'm not gonna develop my private life.
All right. With that, folks, we are like a lot over time, and I know in the next 10 minutes, Mr. Holman, which is Jeff,
I'm
is
gonna
be
get
going,
angry.
fucking wrap this up. My dinner's done. And Mr. Mark is gonna say, hey, I took my fucking diuretic, guys. Come on, wrap it up. I gotta pee.
My wife is cooking the pheasant I shot today with my musket.
Too
Jeff,
easy. Too easy.
Any last questions for the amazing guest we have tonight?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm gonna ask this question. I've never asked this question. I don't know why I'm gonna ask it, but I'm asking it on Mr. Mark's behalf.
Mm.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxer briefs.
Oh, Mr.
Okay,
Mark.
so-
Nope, you're done.
No. I'm just deciding between the 17 things that just popped into my mind.
I bet.
Like what color?
Black, like every man. We don't like to, you guys all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you got to stay away from those light colors, especially as you get older.
Most I'll do is a dark blue.
All right.
I'm a man, baby.
All right. So, hey, man, would you flex your biceps for me one more time?
Are you serious?
Yes.
You know what? Okay, you son of a... No, fuck you.
Oh, shit.
That is your entrance fee for getting to Hannibal Lecter's cell. Okay.
All right. Oh shit! Fuck it. Here you go. We're going to Lecter's cell.
We're
going to Lecter's cell.
We are going.
One of the cool things about living in the country is
you go fucking nuts really fast.
Yeah, you go to the gym, enough. But I got a cool story for you. All right, ready? Cool story, and then we can call it a day. Unless you got a question, Ben.
Fire.
All right. I had chickens for a little while. Right. Figured I'm out in the country. I built a little chicken coop. Had 6 chickens. 2 of them ended up being roosters. Right. So I had to cull one of the roosters, which is basically kill it and eat it. Right. I look up on the internet how to do it. It's a culling cone. You put it on there, you screw it into a tree, you put the thing in, it's hypnotized, little slit right here, catch all the blood, you dip the fucking thing. So I'm trying to do this as humanely as possible, and the other 5 chickens are watching. Right? Got the damn thing upside down in the thing. I was supposed to have 2 roosters, right? Only 1, and they were making a crazy racket. So I'm like, all right, we're going to eat the thing. I'm going to be a real farmer. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what if I miss the vein, right? So I decide I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to get a rubber mallet and a butcher knife. I'm just going to put it right there. Boom. With the mallet, head comes off, blood goes in the bucket. We're good. So I wind up to Wisconsin. Boom. Miss the knife altogether. Cave in half the bird's freaking brain. Right now, I'm like, I hit it a couple more times. I'm missing all of it. Suddenly, I'm sawing on this goddamn thing, and finally the head comes off, and I'm going, oh my God. I basically serial killed this chicken in the worst, most inhumane way possible while trying to be humane about it. So,
but that, my friends, is how you beat a cock.
Oh, Jesus. But I need to, yeah, that's one of the reasons I got to get back to LA. You start thinking you can farm and shit when you're out here.
So, Troy, where do you like interacting with your fans on the social medias?
On the social medias, we have anything official Boondock Saints. There's Facebook official Boondock Saints, Instagram, and TikTok. So on all those, and X as well. And one of the really cool places is a fan site. Boondock's got a few fan sites. The biggest one and my favorite one is it's called Legion. Boondock Saints Legion on Facebook. And there's just all these crazy talented fans there. They like do their art. They all got tattoos. It's nuts. And my friend who's become a very dear friend of mine since he established it, Nick Hall, is he's the Irishman that runs the whole shabam from Killarney, Ireland.
Nice. Mr. Mark.
Yes, sir.
You know the question.
Jeffrey Mark, for those of you who are watching, just as it's spelled below me, those of you who are only listening, GeoffreyMark on Facebook, Jeffrey Mark Showbiz on Instagram, at Jeffrey Mark in LinkedIn. And if you're having a good time here and you want to continue to watch something that includes music on these very same channels and platforms, we have GPE Presents Jeffrey Mark Plays Ella. Every week we play the music of the wonderful Ella Fitzgerald on a theme, and I give you insider stories to how the music was made and what was going on, because I've written 2 books about her, and I am Grammy nominated for writing her album notes. So wherever you're seeing this, you can see that. Please look us up. That's all I've got, Mr. Holman.
Stilltoking.com. Stilltoking.com. Well, you can check us out on Facebook. Go to Toking with the Dead. I do want to say that the artwork is complete for issue 6.
Yay.
Yep.
It is complete. I will be in the next few weeks, hopefully within a week. We will have that book all assembled. We'll be getting ready to print. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Dal did a killer job on the artwork.
Yep.
But give us a follow on our Facebook page, Toking with the Dead. Go to stilltoken.com, and be sure to look us up on YouTube as well.
Are you done?
Yeah, because they don't want to know about me. I'm just talking about
Okay, I'm
us,
just
.
I was just making sure. I mean, you seem to have like a senior moment where you kind of was like, almost like the bartender
No, I
in
think I
Boondock.
sharded.
Fuck.
I think I sharded. That was the look.
Okay.
I thought
Good
you were
thing-
going to end with me and my wife will be canning the seasonal vegetables and storing them for the winter at our root cellar.
I'll give you a fucking root.
Going to make deer jerky with the nephews.
So we want to thank Troy for taking time out of his busy schedule to entertain you as he has done in the past. If you don't know what we're talking about, well, climb back under the rock. It's okay. It's just okay. To all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do so people like us can come up here and do what we do. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
Have a happy.
No many patches.
Hold on. You started to do the prayer before I ended the stream. The stream is still live.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Oh, you want the whole?
I want you to do it
Okay,
again.
ready?
Yes.
Yep. And shepherds we shall be for thee, my Lord, for thee power hath descended forth from thy hand, that our feet may swiftly carry out thy command. And so we shall flow a river forth to thee, and teeming with soul shall it ever be. In nomine Patri et Filii Spiritus Sancti.
There you go, folks. See ya.